The HP Outdoors Waterfowl podcast is fueled by Eukanuba. If you want to get the most of your dog in your training sessions, you need nutrition that holds nothing back. Eukanuba's new premium performance lineup is built with the nutrients dogs need to help unleash their max potential. That starts with providing energy that matches their efforts, supporting optimal nutrient delivery, and supporting post-exercise recovery. Check out the new Eukanuba premium performance lineup and find your dog's fuel at eukanubasportingdogs.com. You are listening to the HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast. The HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast is powered by Cornerstone Gun Dog Academy. CGA is the world's most comprehensive online gun dog training resource. They've got over 160 instructional videos that includes everything you need to take your 7-week-old puppy to a finished gun dog. Visit cornerstonegundogacademy.com to sign up for the free preview module and begin your training journey today. Cornerstone Gun Dog Academy, the most advanced gun dog training resource on the web. Soundgear is offering a 35% discount to the HP Outdoors listeners for their instant fit industrial and shooter products. You can head over to soundgearhearing.com and use the promo code HPO35 to claim your discount today. Lifetime Decoy's new Flex Float Mallard decoys set the new standard for quality and durability in waterfowl decoys. An EVA foam, open bottom construction combined with patent-pended dual flow swim keel system allows for more movement and less wind, the ability to sit flat on ice and dirt, and virtually indestructible design which can be shot or otherwise punctured and still float. Each decoy weighs only 11 ounces with the self-righting keel weights removed or 19 ounces with the weights installed. Check them out today at lifetimedecoys.com. All right, welcome back to the Foundations of Waterfowl Hunting course, brought to you by HP Outdoors. We're on to Module 4, Lesson 5. In this lesson, we're going to talk about scouting, which is undoubtedly one of the most important aspects of hunting if you want to have regular, consistent success. Everyone can run into or luck into a great hunt once in a while, but if you want to consistently be on birds day in and day out, there is no substitute for putting, time behind the wheel on the road and just scouting and finding birds.
I agree. And I almost find myself in a rut currently. Sometimes if I have a quick morning hunt, then I'll go to some places that I know that may produce pretty well. They may not, but getting out is sometimes more important than killing for me. But if you want to have success, definitely get out there. I would say scout the times that you intend to hunt. It's very easy to be driving around and find birds on water and you're not sure what that is, where they're going, where they come from. But try to locate the roost areas and follow the birds to the feed at the time you intend to hunt it. You'll be there when they want to be there, and that's the main goal of scouting.
Yeah, locating the roost is critical. Obviously, if you can follow to where they're going and feeding and can get access to that location, you're in the chips, right? But you're not always going to be able to do that. So if you can't actually get on the X by following from the roost, you can also look for suitable opportunities that would be in that flight path where you would be able to potentially run traffic. So, that is the next best option. If you can't be on the X, get yourself situated in that flight path so that then you can try to, pull birds down, particularly if you've got fresh migratory birds into the area. You might have some success pulling some traffic birds in and can have some really successful hunts in that regard.
Agreed. Also, I think this is a good time to just plug a mobile app, right? If you know where that roost is at, and then you follow them to a feed, it's so nice to be able to pull up on your phone all the fields, all the landowner information between the roost and that feed if you are in the need of running traffic. So you can find where you want to hunt, and when you're looking at all those places, that's when you can find out, where do you want to set up in fields? Where are they coming from? Are they coming up a tree line? Are they coming through the middle of a field? And you can start looking at, where you want to place blinds, where you want to put the hunters, all that good stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, one of the critical components is being able to stay concealed to execute the hunt. So that's one part of it. And once you figured that out, the next step is to really identify how many birds are using the area, like sort of what sort of species, if you're talking ducks, are hitting that field or that water source. How do they look when they're on the water or in the field? Are they calm? Are they packed in tight? Are they family groups that are spread out a little bit? Basically, what does the ground truth look like? Because you are going to want to mimic that as closely as possible. Dan spoke about this in another lesson, but the difference between an ultra successful hunt and just a solid hunt can be the difference of like 30 to 40 yards in a field sometimes. So identifying not just what field they want to be, but where in that field do they want to be, and how are they landing when they land? How can you replicate that setup to stack the cards in your favor to have the best hunt possible? Those are all the things that you want to evaluate and look for in the process of scouting for your hunt.
I just love how waterfowl is a giant puzzle, and you just try and fit all the pieces together. Like we're throwing so much info out, but again, we're talking a lot about fields there, but if you move on to big water, again, this is a place where a mobile app or Google Earth, you can start looking for areas on lakes that offer protection from wind and maybe shallower water that have a food source that you can put on a mobile app. You can see different roadways, different little alleys that you can walk back and check these. So big water, the chances are you're not going to be able to see all these places from the road. You're going to have to put some boots on the ground, get back into these swampy areas and check them. And that's just, that's part of the scouting game.
No doubt. Last thing I'll add here on the scouting front is, when you're looking at a field and you've got all these other things figured out, make sure that you note the prevailing wind direction so that you can help situate your blinds and know where birds will approach from and all that sort of stuff. And then also note like where relative to that position the sun will be rising, because obviously if you can, you want to situate yourself where you'll have that sun at your back, so it creates shadows on your blinds and puts the sun in the bird's face, that kind of thing. So those are all things that you're going to need to leverage to help keep yourself concealed. If you make note of those things when you're out there in the dark, you'll be able to better set yourself up. I mean, I've been in countless spreads where we've had to adjust because the wind was calling for one direction, and when we got out there and hunted, it was just coming from a different direction, and the birds just didn't quite work the way that we wanted them to because the wind wasn't just right. So you have to be able to adjust and flex. But if you've been watching a field for a couple of days and it's been holding true to the forecast and that kind of stuff, you can set yourself up for a little better success, and you won't have to monkey with trying to redistribute decoys or move your spread around while the flight's going on and potentially missing out on flocks of birds because you're out of your blind trying to work on stuff. So a lot goes into it. We covered that really, really quickly. We've got other episodes where we go much deeper into scouting, and there's a lot of information out there to be had, a lot of good information out there to be had. But just know that it's more than just driving by the field on your lunch break or, what have you. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. And if you want to be successful on a regular basis, drilling down on how to do this, the scouting techniques and how to do it effectively will make the difference. So don't overlook lesson number 5. It's one of the most important ones in the entire process of the hunt. Next, we're going to talk about gear prep and how to have all your stuff squared away before you ever get into the field. That's going to do it for this episode of the HP Outdoors Waterfowl Podcast. If you're new to the show, head over to iTunes, check out some of our past episodes, and while you're there, leave us a 5-star rating and review. It's the best way for like-minded hunters just like you to find our show. Check us out on social media. Check us out over at hpoutdoors.com and anywhere you can find quality podcast content. That's going to do it for this week. Till next time, for Dan, I'm Josh. Take care.